Hello, everyone. I hope we are having a good day. Hello, Kane. Hello, Nyasity. I hope you are doing well. Give me 1 second and I will be switching over here briefly. Yes, I know. I'm here. Hello. How are we? So, I don't know how many of you saw it. But what did we think of the news I shared yesterday night? For those who are not aware, my model is done. So debut is just around the corner. So yeah! Debut is just around the corner. So I hope you guys are excited. So yes, I just received it yesterday. So I was like, you know what, I need to share, I need to vent all this excitement somewhere. So I hope you are excited like I am. But obviously, some things need to be done first before I can fully debut. But it's getting closer. I'm hoping. I'm gonna work on it slowly this week. But hopefully, maybe by night at the museum on Saturday, I might have a tentative date. I'm hoping. So. No, not debuting on Saturday, but on Saturday I might have the date decided. Maybe. So yeah. Yeah, no, we're not debuting right away. No. But yeah, I am really excited. So, yeah. How are we all today? Oh, you guys are all doing well. I'm also going to apologize if I'm yawning a little bit more than normal today. I didn't really sleep at all last night. Maybe it was the excitement over everything. I don't know. But I didn't sleep. So my voices may be a little bit different than normal, but it's okay. Could be. Trying to think. Do we all remember where we were last we left off in Morgana about 2 weeks ago? I tried to leave a hint in the title, but I don't think they're quite saved yet. Well, they were. Hello, Samurai. Thank you for so much for stopping in. Mm-hmm. I hope you're doing well. But yeah. Give me just 1 second and we will hop back into Morgana. Essentially all we need to know is Giselle's last request of us was to also save Morgana. So that's what we're off to go do. It's been really busy, not gonna lie. That's understandable. That's understandable. Life right now seems a little crazy. For all of us, to be honest. Last request sounds so fine. Well. Yeah, there might be a reason I'm using it as last request. Not entirely. Can you ban? That's an interesting question. I don't think you could. It's my channel. If anything, I can ban you. So. Oh, yeah. And of course, it always likes to hide from me. Yep, there it is. What's Whoopsie? What's Whoopsie? Uh-oh. Oh, okay. I'm like, what's Whoopsie? Oh, no. Okay, well. We are here. Are we ready? Confrontation. Yo, we're not ready? That's fair. Let's restart. Happy it's not quite over yet. We're close. We're close, but we're not quite done yet. Oh, thank you, Marky. Welcome in. Marky. Yep. Any other house. Oh, I'm sorry, Marky. We're not this house. Yes, Marky doesn't need more suffering. Marky has suffered enough. Marky just needs happiness. That's all we want. That's all we want for Marquise. I feel targeted. Is that a, yeah, it is a Yerpsy. Yeah. Happiness, yes. No worries. Thank you for stopping in, Marky. I hope you're feeling better. Or if you're not, you're resting, right? You're resting, right? You better be. Good. 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 All right, guys. Are we ready? Ready to hop in? Still no.
Au manoir, je n'arrêtais pas d'écouter cette voix, la voix de la sorcière que j'étais le seul à pouvoir entendre.
You cover the center? Sure. Giselle. Reality fades back into view. Wait, we don't like some French chanting? We don't like French chanting? I think it's French. I think it's French. I'm looking at neither the endless eroding darkness nor the visions of my past. But the sea of blood spreading in all directions. I'm standing at the top of the observation tower, outside the door. I've returned. Back in Morgana's world. Her bitter, hate-filled, thirst-fueled world. To tell you the truth, I didn't see this coming. This is my mansion. My domain. She was supposed to be locked up. It would seem my will is not as absolute as I had thought. What would you call that? The power of love? Is that what allowed this to happen? How trite. Where's the magic? The miracle? I can think of one reason. I can think of one other reason she was able to escape. And it was the only way we'll be able to find the power we need to cast off the darkness of this house. But first, before we do anything else, we must open this door. Whatever nonsense that woman filled your head with, it certainly seems to put some fight into those eyes. Well, good for you, my dear. A little confidence boost doesn't erase the fact that you are on the ground, crawling through filth like a worm, tears streaming down your face as you tried to ignore what lay before you. A little self-esteem isn't going to make you any less helpless when you step through that door. But that won't stop me from trying. I'm done acting like you're some inevitability, some force of nature. It's time for me to take a stand, Morgana. The air on the door has a distant chill to it as I place my hand against the wood surface. My arms, once bloodied and lacerated, are now whole once again. I can feel my entire body. Sorry, music's a little loud. Yeah, music's a little loud, hold on. Sorry, y'all. Everything is back in its rightful place. I take a deep breath in, lift my head, focus my gaze on the door, and push it open. Resting on the back of my hand, I can feel another palm, soft and warm. Through the single window sitting high atop the wall shines a ray of light. A black butterfly flutters within the beam. Its form is indistinct, wavering like a mirage as it slowly descends to the tower floor. And then, from within the darkness, a person appears. There she is. Is that you, Morgana? How does it feel to finally meet the real thing, my dear? I knew you were young, but you really are still a child. Yeah. Having heard her tale, I know she still died a girl. She died still a girl. But now I know how she came to bear so much hatred in the world. But knowing and seeing are two very different things. The sight of her bony, adolescent body is a painful reminder that she never had a chance to know happiness, to know adulthood, before being robbed of her life. I had assumed monster would be your first reaction. With a face and a body like this. How very sweet of you, Michelle. So tell me, what exactly do you mean to do now that you're here? Oops, sorry. Your ultimate goal was, as I understood it, to take Giselle back. But she's no longer here for me to return to you. She broke out of my cage. And exhausted what had remained of her soul to show herself to you. Yeah, you know how I said final wish? I knew it was coming up. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry, Kane. I cannot perceive even a trace of her presence any longer. So I presume her soul shattered, dissipated into nothing. No, she's right here beside me.
Is that so? You seem to believe as much anyway, which only makes your presence here a bigger mystery. Ah, I know. You want revenge. I made you miserable while you were alive. I continue to torment you in death.
You entrusted me with Giselle's life, and I used her for my own ends. You must despise me. Hatred fills you. You want to curse me, to kill me. My death could well mean the end of all of this. Shall I grant you that wish? She flicks a finger. And the next second, a long sword clatters to the floor at my feet. Take the blade in your hands, and like the knights of old who executed the witch, pierce my heart with it. Do now what should have happened then. You've always wanted to be a knight, didn't you? Go on, pick it up. Show me your revulsion, my dear. Morgana. I do have a reason for being here. I came to save you.
Did you hit your head on the way up?
You came to save who? I spent so long trying to look away, when I should have been trying to look deeper. To tell you the truth, your constant chattering in the darkness evoked more than annoyance in me. I empathized with your loneliness. I bear no hatred for you. It was my despair that brought you back to life. So that makes it my responsibility to end this. My own wish has given me all the redemption I need, my dear. Or should I be expecting another self-righteous lecture about how hatred does you no good? Brilliant, Michelle, brilliant. Do you have any idea how absurdly presumptuous you're being? Trying to force your idea of redemption onto someone who has no interest in it. If the tale you showed me was the whole truth, then I would have to say you could revile those heartless men as much as you pleased. I refuse to believe that's the whole story. The men I saw beyond the first 3 doors had genuine concerns and worries. They felt things, real human emotions, even if those things ultimately led them down a path of destruction. Wanting to do something nice for the one you care about. Being disgusted at the things you've done. Hiding your urges from those around you. You certainly couldn't call them good men, but they were real people with real conflicts.
So you're saying I'm lying? Well, I can't say I blame you. Who would believe the word of a witch?
I don't think you falsified your account, Morgana. The tragedy? No. The grisly reality you described? I don't doubt any of that happened. You wouldn't be here otherwise. But I've learned something in my years. Reality exists from more than one perspective. That doesn't change what happened. That two-faced young man deceived me. The beast severed my arm. And the greedy, power-hungry lord used me for his own personal gain. Events by themselves do not tell the whole story. Only when you take into account their circumstances, what they thought and felt, their perspectives, only then can you say you've reached the truth. Your point being? Are you going to march down to where their souls are and ask them for their perspective? Don't waste your breath. They'll only tell you what benefits them the most. Then we do it our way. We open that door to your past. And if I refuse? This is my domain, my world. It operates in accordance to my will. The door won't open unless I allow it. Were you aware, Morgana, that I recovered my first memory in front of a mirror? You what? The same mirror Giselle used to practice her smile. In all those hundreds of years, bits of her memory came to reside within it. Every time she stood before that mirror, she had me in her heart. And next, I saw one of my own memories play out in my bedchamber. It was the first day we opened the windows, when she let the morning sun into my room. That day was a turning point in my life.
And why are you telling me this?
Because it means this world does not belong to only you. It's also hers. And mine. And that is why she was able to break free. Your wish is, without question, the most powerful of anyone's here. And you have more authority over this place than anyone else. There's no denying your position as the master of this house. But Giselle and I, we too have influence over this domain. I was the one who resurrected you, and she who served as your guide. So the door will appear, whether it was of your will or not. Their souls reside here as well. They may spin convenient tales, but the memories ingrained upon their souls and tell no lies. All the pieces are on the board. The door will open.
Say the door does open. What does that change?
Nothing those men may have thought or felt can take back what they did to me. This rotting, broken creature they turned me into. I don't care what was going through their heads. They will never have my forgiveness. My hatred is unwavering. My wish will not be undone so easily. Their souls shall suffer for all eternity. Before we begin, Morgana, let's get one last lingering question out of the way.
And what might that be?
Who the white-haired girl is.
That's your lingering question? We've already established.
That was you, Morgana.
So, in a desperate plea to deny you ever came back as a woman, you're now trying to make me into her? That is perhaps the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. That was you, my dear. Don't avert your eyes. You must face reality.
I'm not averting my eyes, and I'm not in denial. I have faith. Faith that I only ever made it back to this mansion once. When I awoke in the rocking chair beside the fireplace.
Ha! Nevertheless, that hardly justifies accusing me of being that foolish girl. How could you possibly think I was her? Never have I not been present in these walls. Not even while she was alive and in the claws of tragedy. My hair is not white, nor are my eyes red. And look at this horrid, festering face. How could I ever become her?
How your soul appears is irrelevant in this case, Morgana. I will uncover the truth about you. Things even you don't know. And if I can show that you were, in fact, the white-haired girl, in that moment will your reality be rewritten.
If you're so confident, be my guest. Find out for yourself how little you're capable of.
Blackness filled the observation tower once more. Morgana fades into the distance, leaving me alone in the dark stream. The darkness I've seen, felt, and been consumed by numerous times since arriving to the mansion.
this time, I welcome it. Praying that beyond it lies a truth with the power to release all from the house's grasp. This next tale will have no narrator. I won't sit back and listen as someone recounts the path of fate to me. No. I have to find the path for myself this time. I don't know what awaits me beyond the black, but no matter what it may be, as long as I have the power to provide redemption, I must never put down my sword. Now, let us open the door. The final door. The final door. We don't know what time frame we're in. I brought you some food. You have to eat something. Barely touched your food yesterday. Come on, please. Just leave it there. Her hands aren't bound. She can eat whenever she pleases. But she's not gonna last much longer. The boy has a point. If she won't eat, we will lose our supply of blood. That's not what I meant. Leave it there. Well, we'll be back. Welcome back, Nelly. Oh no, not her. Don't worry, she's much younger this time. She never gets... I don't think she's nearly as old as she was in the last time we saw her. Do you really have to go? Yeah. Things are pretty hectic right now. When do you suppose you'll be back? Tomorrow. Same time as today. And you'll have enough time to talk then? Will you? Yeah. Are you hiding something from me? You're acting kind of funny. You're my sister. I couldn't keep anything from you. You're not. You're not yourself, though. What's so different about me? Well, you're not acting much like a prince. Right, of course. Don't worry, I'm still your prince. Same as always. Good night, Nelly. My princess. How did I even end up in this mess? I never wanted this. All I wanted was a quiet life. Someone, get me out of here. Take this thing somewhere far away. Tell me. I'm not the bad one here. Oh God, I'm begging you. Just make it all go away. Someone. Anyone. Get me out of here.
Look, look. The stars, they're beautiful. Though, with it so bright out, I worry someone might see us.
Everyone's long gone.
I hope so.
Are you ashamed?
A little. But I still want to be with you.
Have you ever considered leaving the convent?
You can't just stop being a nun, you know? It's not that simple. I've made vows, sworn my life to the service of God.
I wasn't aware. I don't know much about this land's traditions.
If I were to leave the church, it would have to be in my next life. I'd like to be a normal girl, lead a normal life, get married, have kids, and before I know it, I'm an old lady. Thinking, it was an uneventful life, but it was the best I could have asked for. That's my dream.
That sounds very peaceful.
I hope we can be together in our next lives, too. Have a nice, quiet life together. It'll be a city on the water, looking out over a beautiful, glimmering emerald sea. Ooh, 1 second, guys. Yeah, you remember now? You remember now? Not gonna lie, I'm lost. Sorry about that, guys. Don't worry, Samurai. It's okay. All you need to know is we are now revisiting a bunch of the characters we met earlier in the game. So, yeah. I still have to go through and re-upload all of my Morgana VODs to my YouTube, but yeah. So Kane recognizes this as Yukimasa and Pauline, I believe. Yes. Yes, we are. Not through our memories, but through Morgana's memories. Yes. I forgot Pauline was the one who said quiet life thing. Yeah. It was Pauline. The sound of the seabirds squalling by the port.
The two of us sitting shoulder to shoulder. Swear to God, if the next thing is eating ham sandwiches, I'm gonna lose it. Okay, good. Just looking out over the city. Doesn't that sound wonderful?
It certainly does. I would love that. Hmm. The Harvest Festival. On the day of the on the day of the festival.
"3 days until her death.
Wake up. Please wake up. Come on. Open your eyes. Michelle. Ah, Michelle. We finally have a Michelle like portrait down here. I think it's the first time we've had one. No, they usually don't. This is the first time we've ever had a portrait down here. Usually they're up on the screen because they're telling a story. So bright. I'm outside. The light feels like needles in my eyes. The first thing I see beyond the mansion's darkness is blinding light. The sun glares mercilessly overhead. A gentle breeze blows past, and I hear the birds chirping from several different directions. Each breath I take fills my lung with the scent of earth and grass. So much time has passed since I've been in the light. I almost feel like I'm alive again. No, not almost. What's going on? What on earth is this? Is this the era Morgana lived in? Michelle! Oh, thank goodness. You can hear me. Good morning, Master. I hope you slept well. Giselle? Is that voice really you? I swear it's me. 100%. Not that mean old phony. So don't you worry. No, I believe it's you. I just wasn't expecting to be able to hear you here. I did say I would always be by your side. I'm relieved. But
Where are you, Giselle? I can't see you anywhere. Well, I'm not exactly sure myself. You don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It's pitch black all around me. Like a black smoke churning in the darkness. It feels a lot like inside the mansion. But I don't think I'm actually in the mansion. So you're still trapped in the void then. I can see a shimmering light off in the distance. Through the fog. I can hear the sound coming from that direction. It's like the outside world is leaking through the light. I can see the trees rustling. Hear the birds singing. Can't see you though. So I assumed I was seeing through your eyes. And I thought I'd try to get your attention. So that means you can see everything I can. Seems so. Though I don't think I can see quite as clearly as you. I wish you could be here to feel this too. Experience it in my place, even. It's a bizarre sensation. While I could see and feel the worlds through the other doors, I was strictly in the capacity of an observer. We were merely watching, not actively present in the tales. But this time, I feel like I've been resurrected and dropped into the world as a participant. It's all so vivid. Everything in the mansion lacked. It's all here, and I can feel it so clearly. I wish you could have been the one to experience this. It's okay, Michelle. I know you'll dispel this darkness I'm in, won't you? I will. I'm more than happy just to be able to hear your voice. And being able to see what you see. It's like a miracle. I too am glad to know that you're here. Have the chance to hear your voice again. Thank you so much for saving me. If you hadn't have shown up, I wouldn't be here. Oh no, I should be thanking you. I was overjoyed to learn just how much you really cared about me. There are so many things I want to say right now. So many things I want you to know. So many thank yous. And so many I love yous. Hey now, is that really the best response you've got? Surely you can do better than that. You're embarrassing me. I am somewhat disappointed by one thing, though. I still couldn't get any hugs or kisses, since I'm not there in person. This face. I don't think it's BS, Kane. Oh, come on. You're not very good at this, are you?
And you're not very good at picking up on how much you're embarrassing me. I'd expect at least me too. We should start by figuring out when and where exactly this is. You're not even trying, are you? I'm doing the best I can. Please don't ask any more than this of me. It's okay though. I might not be able to see you, but we're together either way. You know, Michelle, I think I might be able to help too. Well, I can't be there in person. I can give you ideas. Another point of view when you're not sure about something. With the two of us together, we'll be able to figure our way through this. Yes, we will. Where to begin? What do you say we get our bearings? List out exactly what we need to take care of. That's not a bad idea. I'm a bit frazzled at the moment, to tell you the truth. What? Why? I had assumed we would just be observers like any other door, searching their memories for clues. I never expected I'd actually be thrown into their era. True. It's not at all like the other doors. No matter how the rules may change, I'm seeing this through to the end. If our guess is correct, we have arrived at Morgana's past. And we need to uncover the truth behind those events. Or rather, three men's circumstances. What they felt, what drove them. My gut tells me there's something to be found there that even Morgana doesn't know. I could be wrong, and it's possible that even if I am right, what we find won't do anything to quell her hatred. But we won't be talking her out of it, that's for sure. Words won't break through that kind of animosity. We need to find something bigger. Something she could never have imagined. Something that would turn her entire worldview on its head. The white-haired girl might be a good place to start. She showed up again at the mansion again and again, as though led there by some supernatural force. And she was involved with the three men in some way. I can't think of anyone else with such deep ties to both the mansion and the men. But at the same time, I have a hard time convincing myself that the Morgana we know and the white-haired girl could be the same person. They're about as different as two people can be. Which actually leads me to believe there's something there. There must be something. Some secret we haven't figured out yet that we can use. So let's find it. It won't be easy. If we are in the past, though, I wonder, maybe we could change it? This could be a huge chance for us. Change the past. Sorry, I choked on my water. 1 second. No, I choked on my water. 1 second. Sorry about that. Yeah, we could prevent Morgana's death. Or we could stop whatever led them down this path. There's an idea. If it's actually possible, maybe we could do something. The question is this world really... Now I'm getting kind of pumped. I've got my game face on and I'm ready to do this. Doesn't do much if no one can see it. It's a figure of speech. Okay, first things first, we need to find the mansion. Morgana should be at least at the top of the observation tower. And the three men shouldn't be far off either. Now the question is, where are we? Do you recognize the surroundings at all? I never really left the mansion, so I'm not especially familiar with the lay of the land. Give me a little spin, would you? As she requested, I slowly spin around in a circle. And through the dense woods, I spot a cluster of what appears to be stone formations. Squinting to get a better look, I realize they're buildings. It's decently far off, but it appears to be on the edge of a city. I think that might be the village I stayed at for a while. It's a bit big for a village. Don't you remember what Amadi said about the village's history? Amadi. That bastard. Michelle. You didn't think something uncharacteristically vulgar just now, did you? Wouldn't dream of it. Yes, I remember. He said it was once much larger, and that it was destroyed in a single week by the witch's curse. Except rather than a curse, it was probably disease. If that's the same city, then it fits with what Morgana said happened. I believe he also said something about there being a large bridge on the outskirts of the city. And following that path from there would lead to the mansion. So let's head down to the city. All right. You don't sound very enthusiastic. Are you nervous you might have to talk to someone? Don't worry, you've got me here. Don't treat me like I'm antisocial. But you are, my friend. You are. But you are. You're not? No, that's not what's bothering me. It's... something about this whole thing feels off. This world we're in. Never mind. I'm probably overthinking things. Okay, Marky, I don't think this redeem works if you redeem it. Does it work? Banned from my own redeem. Watch me. Oh no. Marky, no. Refuse to watch. Close his eyes. I mean, I think you're a little late, Kane, but sure. Now's not the time for that. We need to get moving. Let's go. Oh, is that your... Oh. Why? Hold on. Thank you for letting me know, Marky. What the heck? There we go. Now it's back. This is what happens when I have everything already nice and done and I know where everything is. I have everything nice and done and then someone's like, hey, you know you can organize your OBS like this. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do that. And everything moves and gets messed up. No, I'm blaming Twitter. As per usual. You fixed it quickly, well done. Yeah, I just had No, blame Sylvie, it's funnier. Twitter, please. Yes, exactly. Twitter, please. Thank you for letting me know, Marky. I appreciate it. Oh. Which also means this whole thing has to go up here. Which is gonna drive me nuts. But sure. Gosh dang it. Rather than waste time fretting over the details, we need to get to the mansion like she said. Everything else comes after that. With each step I can feel the earth compressing beneath my feet. The grass flattening. As I weave my way through the trees towards the city. A sensation of having a living, flesh and blood body slowly returns. Hello! Hello, Mel. Long time no see. Welcome in, Sylvie. So, no. So essentially what happened is, if you remember the other day, we were chatting about making our OBS sources nice and neat. Well, apparently that messed me up and I lost chat for an hour. So, so yeah. Mm-hmm. I didn't mean to. What do you mean? Huh? Well, damn, now I'm the fool. Okay, I see how it is. I see how it is. Hello, buddy. Okay, I also fucked with my Mobius, so. A white-haired man just appeared out of nowhere. And he's talking to himself. I gotta get away before he does something. Hold it right there, Mel. You don't get to call me crazy and then just run off. How do you know my name? How? Why wouldn't I? We were just in the mansion together. Huh? Mansion? What are you talking about? Right, he hasn't become a shadow in the mansion yet. I doubt I would forget seeing someone as unusual as you. Who are you? And where did you come from? Where? I'd like to know myself. You're not helping, Michelle. He already thinks you're crazy. You're not helping in the situation. Say something, Michelle. He's not getting any less suspicious of you. You have to come up with a way to break the tension. Improvisation is not exactly my strong suit. I am God, or I was sleeping in a tree. Well, which is it? These are our options, everyone. These are our options. Do we become God? Or do we say we just fell out of a tree and hit our head? What do you mean you're not allowed to be a god? I feel like there's only one that doesn't have Mel running away screaming. The gods are my bosses. Okay, that makes sense. That makes more sense. So are we saying we were falling asleep in a tree and we hit our head? I like sleeping. Well, okay. That's the only way that he's gonna believe that this is why I'm talking crazy, is I was sleeping in a tree, I fell and hit our head. Or at least that's how I'm reading this as. I like sleeping? Okay, we're doing sleeping. It sure looks like you just popped out of nowhere. You imagined it. It was so sudden, your mind misinterpreted what you saw. That too much of a stretch? Is that too much of a stretch? Your other option was I am God. too much of a stretch, my foot. Yeah, you're right. Must have been seeing things. People can't just appear out of thin air. On days like this, I'll sometimes climb a tree and take a nap too. And then roll all over and fall flat on my face. See, it's not that weird. It's not that weird. So I can relate. Michelle, napping in a tree? I can't even imagine it. Me neither. Also, it would seem that, like Morgana's, I'm the only one who can hear Giselle's voice. But that doesn't explain how you know my name. You know. You look like a lot of an acquaintance of mine. Imagine my surprise when it turns out you have the same name, too. That's definitely pushing it. Oh. Yeah, that happens to me every now and then, too. Jeez, you had me spooked there for a second. Well, on the other hand, I'm glad he bought it. I feel perhaps he's a little too trusting. He's the kind of guy who just keeps on walking when he runs across something out of the ordinary, pretending he didn't see a thing. Not the most admirable of traits, but we're in the clear. I assume you're from the city then, if you're out here. Actually, no, I'm, a wanderer of sorts. Oh, huh. Did you come by to see the Harvest Festival then? Harvest Festival? You don't know about it then? 3 days from now, we're holding a festival at the church to celebrate the spring harvest. 3 days. Morgana died when the bell tolled noon on the day of the festival. Which means she's got that much time left. This will be the first time we've held the festival, so we're hoping to make it a big event. Something really memorable. And a young girl is dying behind the scenes of this seemingly pleasant festival. If her death is in 3 days from now, that gives us enough time to do something about it. Could I ask you to show me the way to the church? I would like to join in on the festivities. Sure, yeah. Of course. The church's doors are open to all. Friends and family and wanderers alike. It's not far. Follow me. Thank you. Didn't occur to me until now. But this really is a strange experience. This is a boy completely different. From a different blah 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 blah. This is a boy from a completely different time period who I would have never had an opportunity to meet. If he's here, presumably the other two are as well. Which means Morgana's wish for their reconstruction was actually granted. This Mel doesn't seem like any different a person than the one I observed through the first door. Yet he played a part in Morgana's imprisonment. I have trouble believing he would voluntarily involve himself, though. I was scared for a minute there.
That could have gone a whole lot worse. Plus, we managed to make contact with Mel in record time. Thank you for the care package. Thank you so much, Samurai. I appreciate it. She interacted with him and the others before, so I guess it doesn't feel so strange to her. Ah, you don't want him to hear you talking to yourself again. That's why you're not saying anything to me, isn't it? Actually, I think I can talk to you without speaking. Can you hear me? How are you doing that? I, have a lot of experience talking to ghosts. That really drives home how bizarre things were for you in the mansion. Were you not in a similar circumstances when it was just you and Morgana together? Yeah, now that you mention it. What a bizarre time we both had in that mansion. You're really just realizing this now? So what's your impression of him? My impression? That he's the same Mel as always? In a little more detail? He's an amicable young man. Nice enough to show a complete stranger around. I agree. Morgana's version of the story, he betrayed her. But he doesn't seem to be like that kind of person who would enthusiastically do something so malicious. He had to have had some reason. And we need to figure out what that was. Question is, how do we go about it? We hardly have enough time to earn his trust and convince him to tell us himself. We'll just have to put that knowledge I already have to good use. Oh, that reminds me. Something that might explain it? No, about Morgana. When you were alive, she was always right there with you, like I am now, right? Whenever it struck her fancy, yes. She didn't seem to care about when or where. She could just start talking whenever she felt like it. Whenever? For the most part, yes. Anytime she wanted. Giselle? You don't have to worry about that with me. I know when to keep my mouth shut. Promise. What? You said you feel like you're alive again, right? My 5 senses all seem to be working order. Which means you're also getting hungry, tired, sleepy, and you'll, you know. Giselle! This is not the time to be worrying about that. Just disappear. You'll have to go to the bathroom. I'll be polite and close my eyes and plug my ears while you're doing it.
Thanks. What would possess her to bring that up? Does she even realize what she's saying? Oh gosh, now I'm as red as a tomato. That answers that. Moving right along. We need to discuss how we're going to go about this. Right, that. Harvest Festival is our deadline, which doesn't give us much time. We need a plan for when we arrive at the mansion. No, Giselle, how about no? No. I think you're forgetting we are dealing with Yukimasa here. We'd be dead in an instant. So yeah, I don't think that's the plan. I don't think that's how we want to go about this. How about we spill their secret? Tell everyone about how they've got a girl locked up in the tower and force them to set her free. Surely they wouldn't stand for that. Perhaps, but would anyone believe me? If I walked in and said I came from the future, that I know what's going to happen, would anyone actually buy that? Sure, with enough convincing. Even if I did manage to convince them, the tower door is locked in Morgana's rendition of the tale. You need 3 keys to get inside. Mel should have one of them, but stealing his alone wouldn't be enough to get in the tower. True. If Giselle is right and that we can save Morgana and change the future, then that would indeed solve everything. Something about this whole situation still doesn't sit right with me. I have to do it more than just set her free from that tower. I have to find the truth as well, as I initially set out to do. Regardless, I'd like to try and stay on everyone's good side as much as possible for now. Okay, I'll do whatever I can to help. I appreciate it. I mean, as you know, conversation is not exactly my strong suit. Which means it's my job to hit the brakes whenever you say something stupid. It's a bit late if I've already said it. Anyway, step 1 is we get ourselves into the mansion. We can't hope to make contact with the other 2 men, much less get Morgana out of there, if we're not staying nearby. I'll do what I can. We're almost there. See the big building in the distance? That's the church. It is the same mansion, as I expected. Seeing it now, knowing what horrible things happened there, so disheartening. Are happening as we speak. In the tower we see in the distance, Morgana is locked up, all alone. I wish we could just march in there and set her free. If getting into the tower were our only goal, we could probably just force our way in with a little work. Is something the matter? Mel, I could probably overpower and get his key. Hello? But the other two, that most certainly wouldn't work for. Can you hear me? Oh, yes, sorry, I was lost in thought. Seems kind of strange, doesn't it? What does? I mean, it doesn't look much like a church. But at a glance, you'd think it was some noble's estate. Ah, so it does. I've spent so long there, it never even occurred to me. I was pretty surprised when I first saw it myself. A peculiar place, all told. There's a chapel inside the mansion, with a gorgeous stained glass window inside. It's quite the sight. Do you know why it was built like this? I'm not actually sure myself, no. Anyway, I'll show you to the chapel. The Saintess should be there too, so I can introduce you. Saintess? You've never heard of her? Everyone around here knows her. She's a nun at the church, and everyone calls her the Saintess. She's practically her own religious figure. Oh, he's not talking about Morgana. You'll just have to see for yourself. Come on. All right. On our way to the mansion, we passed through a courtyard of sorts. When I lived here, the area was overgrown with weeds. Apparently, they kept it in better condition in this era. Following Mel's lead, we head through the chapel entrance. Oh my. I'm at a loss for words when I see what lies on the other side of those all too familiar doors. While it was barely recognizable as a place of worship in my memory, just two columns and battered pews and piles of rubble, the room I'm looking at now is unequivocally a chapel. So this is what it used to look like. I wonder how far back this is from when we lived. Has to be more than a decade or two. Maybe 100 years? Or more? The views and beliefs about the world prevalent in our time are not so different from those of this time. Perhaps the chapel was destroyed in the aftermath of the Harvest Festival. When I was first sent to the mansion, there were signs that repairs had been attempted. Stained glass window is behind the pulpit. I'm guessing we can't see it from here? And right next to it is the door to the observation tower. Ah, there she is. There's no priest here. She runs the show. You'll want to talk to her first if you're planning to participate in the Harvest Festival. I'll go fetch her for you. Whisking his way between the pews, the boy disappears into the back of the chapel, turning with a nun in tow. When I see her, my face twists for a brief moment. Good afternoon. You came to see the festival, I hear?
It's wonderful to have you. Is that who I think it is? I'm all but certain at this point that all the major players from behind those 3 doors are present here. Not just the 3 men whose shadows remained in the mansion, but all the women who were important parts of their lives. Though dressed differently, the way she speaks and the way she holds herself resembles the woman killed by her lover behind the second door. They're all connected. What we had thought were separate tales, all stretched back to a single point in time before their own. Is something the matter? No, I was just thinking how unusual it is for one nun to managing an entire church all by herself. Yes, that's the usual reaction from new visitors. Even I think this assignment is a bit over my head. Assignment? Well, I was at another church before this one. A smaller building. And I wasn't the only nun. But the Lord of the Land ordered me to transfer to a new, larger church he was opening. So here I am. The Lord. There's plenty of space on the property, more than enough to provide shelter for the orphaned children and aid for the sick. It seems rather vacant from what I've seen. Yes, about that. We used to take people in, but circumstances have made it difficult as of late. What kind of circumstances? It's not something I can discuss with an outsider. I'm sorry. I'm guessing it has something to do with Morgana's imprisonment here. You think she knows about Morgana? I would guess not. The men swore to keep the secret between the 3 of them. So she's being forced to oversee the mansion completely oblivious to what's happening here. Which isn't to say she's not connected to it in some way. If she's the girl from the second tale, then she should be close with... Is something troubling you? No, my apologies. I got lost in thought. You don't look it, but you're actually a bit of a daydreamer, aren't you? Are we sure this is Pauline? She hasn't mentioned Ham. Give her a minute. She might. Daydreamer. Mel would fit that description much better. Mel would fit that description much better. What? Why? Do I really look that much of an airhead? Oh, I can see that. Someone has to watch out for him, or he's likely to lose his head in the clouds. I really don't think I'm that spacey. I'm not trying to say you're spacey. I just feel like you've got to keep one eye on you at all times. It's a lot like I imagine having a little brother would be like. I'm an oldest child, you know? What's the big deal? You don't want a big sister? Well, I want you to be my little brother. I don't want to just be a capital S sister to you. That's so stiff and formal. No, I want to be your sister. I am a little old to be playing make-believe. Oh, come on. They're quite friendly with one another, it would seem.
Oh, I know. Why don't you become her brother then? Wah. Thank you, Michelle, for bringing back the wah. Wah. Hmm. Will you? I will not. Besides, I'm clearly old. I'm clearly the oldest one here. Why not? I don't think it matters who's older than who. You don't really act like that old anyway. I have at least 10 years on you. Your youngest child insecurity is showing. What? Insecurity? You two are pretty good friends, huh? No, we literally just met all of like 10 minutes ago. I'm sorry to break to you, Pauline. We only met about 10 minutes ago. We can discuss the veracity of that claim later. I'd like to ask you a favor. What is it? I'll gladly help with anything I can. Could I perhaps borrow a room until the day of the Harvest Festival? I don't have anywhere else to stay. Or a source of income for that matter. I know I'd be taking advantage of your generosity, but I only mean to intrude for a few days. I would be more than happy to offer you a place to stay at any other time. But right now, I can't let you stay here. I'm so sorry. Well, damn, so much for that. Don't let one little no stop you. Keep pushing. Put on a show. Show her empathy. She's a lady of the cloth. You make her feel bad for you, she'll offer you her aid. Put on a show. You expect me to act? Sorry, I'm having another episode. All good, samurai. And I was so sure this church would be able to help. That's not gonna convince anyone. Quiet, you. He was perfectly fine on our walk here. Shut your mouth, boy. As I said, we did once offer a place of respite for ailing and needy. But regrettably, for the time being, we're unable to take anyone in. What I can do, though, is offer you medicine. Since we can't let people stay here, with the Lord's generous assistance, we've been handing out medicine instead. So all you do here, then, is give people medication. Yes, I suppose that's what it boils down to. I'm honestly not sure why we're not allowed to offer shelter right now. But we are still able to provide assistance to those in need, so I assume it's just a temporary measure, and we'll be able to start taking people again in before long. And with how much he's done for the church, it's not really my place to complain about his decisions. I am truly sorry. I hope you understand. I'm supposed to ask for a tithe in exchange normally, but just this once, it's yours. Free of exchange. Could you tell me a bit more about this medicine, please? It's called Saint's Blood, and it'll cure any disease.
Saints' blood. It's not real blood, of course. That's just what we call it. It sure sounds divine, doesn't it? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. No, that's not true. Huh? It is real blood. Huh? What? What do you... sorry to butt in. Do you mind if I bring him back to my room? I don't think I mentioned, but he's an old friend of mine. We've got a lot of catching up to do. All right. Hey, come on, this way. Well, that sure got quite the reaction out of him. And now he's incredibly leery of you. Now that she mentioned blood, I couldn't stop myself. Probably should have kept my mouth shut, though. Mel doesn't say a word the entire way. His smile has retreated, and a hint of fear lurking behind his stony expression. I spend the trek through the mansion's corridors pondering how to answer the questions I know are coming. How to solve the problem I put myself in. We enter a bedroom, presumably his, and he closes the door behind us. We're going to save, just in case. I can see the distrust in his eyes as he glares at me. Boss fight, Mel. That'd be the easiest boss fight in the world. I have to ask. Who exactly are you? Why did you say that back there? That saint's blood is actual blood. In response to his pressing, I tell him everything or tread carefully. We tread carefully. I think, anyway. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. We don't have much time, but it's in our best interest to tread carefully. There's too much we don't know yet. It would not be wise to make a rash decision. With him as tense and suspicious as he is right now, it won't be easy to get his key or persuade him to tell us how he ended up here. Furthermore, my experience with the Three Shades tells me if I'm not careful, I'm putting myself in unimaginable danger. A brief flash of what might have happened if I had spoke too soon crosses my mind, sending a chill down my spine. If I want to get Mel on my side, I'm going to need something more. Something decisive. Something that'll convince him he needs to come clean and set Morgana free. Regardless, being cautious isn't going to mean much if I can't get them to let me stay in the mansion. We need to be nearby to keep an eye on things, gather information. How to go about that, though? Assuming he's not voluntarily involved, maybe all we have to do is ask for his help in setting Morgana free and he'll work with us? Perhaps. Being so direct will only invite more suspicion. But she's probably right on
Sorry, she's probably on the right track. When I met his shade, it was burdened with great regret. He begged me to help him. My remark about the saint's blood was based on the stories I once heard about a person whose blood is said to have healing properties. Stories? Maybe they haven't made it out this far. I don't know. But they tell of a girl born in a distant village, a saint and the daughter of God. I thought that person might be the nun. I thought that perhaps the nun might be the saint spoken in the stories, and I was hoping for the opportunity to see a miracle performed with my own eyes. I have to say, you looked more angry than excited. I didn't hide it very well, I guess. Maybe it appeared that way to you, but I've never exactly had a friendly face. If you say so. As long as you're telling the truth. I, myself, have to wonder, why did my remarks seem to bother you so much? What? Is there something more to the saint's blood than you're telling me? No. Something that would make you want to get me alone to interrogate me. There's nothing. I just, didn't want to scare anyone with all that talk of blood, since there's not actually any of it. And I don't know about the stories, so... It's just medicine, I swear. As you say. It's got nothing to do with a saint in your stories. Change the subject. Could I ask you to convince the nun to allow me to stay here? Huh? Weren't you listening? We can't take anyone in right now. Which is why I'm asking for your recommendation. You live on the premises, don't you? I'm more a supervisor of sorts. Then you should have some say in the matter. Why? Till the Harvest Festival is all I'm asking. Why not get a room at the inn? If you need money, I'll spare you some coin. I must stay in this mansion. But why? Those are my instructions. What? You know the stained glass window in the chapel? Behind the pulpit. I was named after the Archangel Michel depicted there. Or Michael depicted there. The angel came to me in a vision, instructing me to watch over the festival here. From where you were standing, couldn't possibly have seen the window in that much detail. You couldn't. Oh, I get it. You've been to the church before, and you're just acting like you haven't. There's a metal door off to the side leading to an observation tower. Yeah? You can see the tower from outside. Inside is a long spiral staircase. Not made of stone, but wood. There's a single door at the top of the stairs. Ow. What are you really here for? All that vision stuff is a lie. I'm not here to cause you any trouble.
In fact, I'm on your side. You show up out of nowhere. Expect me to believe your nonsense? All I ask is for you to allow me to stay until the day of the festival. If you can do that for me, then I will make you the promise I could not before. I have not forgotten your pleas for salvation. I know you want to be free. Let me guess, you saw that in a vision too? If you want to call it that, then you can. I've never once asked for you to save me. You're mad. But, fine. I've got nothing to hide anyway. If I say you're a friend, then the Saintess will be willing to accommodate you. Wait. I already told her you were my friend, didn't I? I'll try and persuade her. I don't know what your deal is, but try not to cause any trouble, okay? For your own sake. I won't. Only until the festival. You're not getting another day out of me or her. And this isn't your home, so don't act like it is. Of course. Thank you. You know, I never did get your name. It's Michelle. Ah, right. After the Archangel Michael. Just like you said. I never really cared much for Michael, to be honest. He weighs your soul in one hand on his perfectly balanced scales, and then delivers it punishment with a sword in his other. He's not an angel of salvation. Out of curiosity, could you perhaps be... No, never mind. It's turned into a bit of a storage area. There's an open room you can use. I'll show you the way. I appreciate your courtesy. Well, this is just lovely. There are cracks in the ceiling and the walls peeling off. There is a bed, at least, but it's coated in dust. This was a storeroom when I lived here, as I recall. Sorry about the condition. I didn't choose a bad room for you on purpose, I promise. If you want, you can sleep somewhere more comfortable. If you want to sleep somewhere more comfortable, you're not going to find that here. Not a problem. I'm grateful just to have a room at all. If you say so. Well, I have work to do, so I should be on my way. I'll talk to the Saintess, as promised. I imagine she'll make supper for you at some point. But do keep your crazy talk to yourself around her. I'll make note of that. Thank you. See you. Welcome back. We made it work. Somehow.
somehow. It's a lot of pressure being under that much suspicion, huh? My heart was pounding the whole time. And that the Archangel Michael came to me in a vision stuff? I never expected you to go there. Why'd you tell him that anyway? Because I didn't think telling him I know the future and I need your help to change it would have gone over very well. Besides, those who yearn for redemption have a tendency to latch onto the spiritual. Hello, Tyler. Good morning. I thought taking advantage of that would work to our benefit. You know, I bet you make a pretty good con artist, Michelle. I did what I thought was necessary. Thank you for the hydrate. I know. Besides, you have every intention of keeping your promise, don't you? Whether or not Mel can be saved is up to him. I will lend him my hand, though. Oh, you. You say it's all on him, but deep down, you know you're on his side. We're complete strangers to this, Mel. But I can't bring myself to think of him that way. We just met today, but it feels like reuniting with an old friend. He's the same old Mel. And you were actually there, part of his life, which I imagine makes the sentiment all the stronger. You don't feel the same way? I don't think of him as a total stranger, no. However, nothing. I was about to say something incredibly cynical, but I caught myself. What? It's nothing. Don't worry about it. If you say so. I was actually the one with nothing to offer, powerless to be of anyone's help. So if anything's motivating me, it's not concern for the boy, or desire to prove that someone like me can do something. It didn't take much arm twisting to get him to give us a room, so who knows? Maybe he'll come over to our side easier than either of us expect. Him giving us a room was not simply out of kindness. Keeping me nearby also allows him to keep an eye on me. He doesn't trust me, but he also doesn't know enough about me to decide what to do yet. He needs time, and doing this gives him that time. If he decides keeping me around is not to his advantage, he'll act accordingly. Do you really think he'll do anything to hurt you? Mel is a kind boy, and, well, to be frank, I don't think he has the spine for it. It's hard to say, but even if he doesn't, we still have 2 other men to worry about. And one of them definitely would hurt us if he had the opportunity. Ah, sorry about that. Another sip of water. Nevertheless, his cooperation will undoubtedly be the easiest of the three to gain. Honestly, I think Yukio needs a faint breeze making him sneeze to kill someone. True. You're not wrong. It was fortunate we ran into him first. What makes you say that? Did you ever have a chance to see the shadows trapped in the mansion? Shadows? I might have. But around the time Hayden Rhodes passed away, I wasn't really there anymore. I stopped thinking, stopped trying to make sense of the things inhabiting the house. I had become merely another part of the cursed mansion. I was only able to converse with them after I had reclaimed myself. I suppose, much like the rules differ between the realms of the living and the dead, so too did they differ for those who have lost their grip on reality. As I was searching for a way to get you out of the tower, I encountered and spoke to the three men's shadows. Out of the three, Mel's was the least threatening. He bears a great deal of regret. He yearns for someone to save him. I heard him muttering, "This isn't what I wanted." He doesn't want to be involved in this. Someone else is holding the reins. My first guess would be the Lord, but regardless, they are not equals in this endeavor. If he wants out, then maybe he would have agreed to help if we told him we were here to save Morgana. Carelessly revealing our hand at this stage doesn't seem wise. It would have never gotten to this point if it were so easy to stop. So I guess our first task is to earn Mel's trust. Morgana's death is in 3 days. We have until then to get all 3 keys. It won't be easy. I mean, we weren't exactly present in this world until today. Exactly. We have no one to vouch for us. No one even knows who we are. But we have knowledge. Quite a bit of it, in fact. We not only know what happens in this era, but you showed me their next lives as well. From that, we can deduce how they might behave and whom they have ties. You're right. We do. We know things we should have no way of knowing. And we can use that knowledge to our advantage. Their various interpersonal relationships are where we need to get our edge, I think. They each have their reasons for locking Morgana up. And if I'm right, they're doing it for other people. It's these powerful bonds driving them. Why does this feel like some weird cursed dating game now? I mean, it's a visual novel, so... Drells. Yes, Drells. Jesus. Mel's driving force would be his sister, for instance. Are they merely bonds, or is it fate that ties them together? You're right. We should find and talk to his sister. Mel is more likely to act as if it's coming from her than us. I agree. If his darling sister tells him to stop, then we have no reason to continue his involvement. Knowing how the first tale ended makes me slightly uncertain. But for now, we can work under the assumption that he does genuinely care for her. What do you want to bet she's somewhere nearby? I mean, she will be. It was her death that sparked the chaos in the day of the Harvest Festival. Right. It was... No, you're exactly right. But what I was going to say is that people tend to keep those they care about most close by. It would appear I have a bad tendency to focus too much on the facts. That was entirely unnecessary of me. Giselle did not need to be reminded of that. I'm sorry. Huh? What for? For being careless with my words. Inconsiderate. No need to apologize for the truth. Besides, you and considerate are like oil and water. And today, you're the fire to my oil. We have 3 days to stop this tragedy. Let's get to work. Let's. We'll probably have more luck asking than searching around for her. If we can't find Mel, the nun might know. Off we go! Now we must find Melly. We must find Nelly. We know she's here. We know she's around. We just gotta find her. Quick, is there a painting of her brother somewhere? Yeah, not quite. As I step into the chapel, I see an old man waving to the nun as he heads for the door. The man is practically beaming, and judging by the vial in his hand, he's happy about more than simply having a chance to see her. Is that saint's blood? According to Morgana's account, a disease began spreading through the city at the Harvest Festival, eventually eradicating the population. In a time like this, where medical knowledge is so limited, a plague would be almost unstoppable. And the sight of so many people dying so quickly could appear to them like the work of a demon or a curse. Come from the future, so we know just how dangerous this is. But they have no idea. Morgana described it as a tale that could have taken place in an era that could only have taken place in an era of miracles and spirituality. About that, she couldn't be more right. Could we maybe warn everyone against taking the medicine? I assume the sickness is what was caused by them ingesting blood, at any rate. It's not medicine they're being given, but bottled disease, like some sick joke. If we could convince them to stop taking Saint's blood, then maybe we could prevent the city from being destroyed. The fact that it's still being distributed in the house of the Lord and peddled as a miracle cure plays right into their deep-rooted spirituality. Could it even be possible to convince them otherwise? And besides, it's not them who we came here to save, but... No, that's veering too far off our intended path. We need to find out the truth and save Morgana's soul. Putting ourselves out like that is only going to get us unwanted attention, make people suspicious, and we don't have that kind of time. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. It's just knowing what they're doing to themselves. I can't help but think that there maybe was something we could do. Especially considering how it all turns out. I understand the sentiment. Or rather, I understand your reasoning. But for me, Morgana takes priority over any of them. And you over everything. Releasing Morgana's soul should save yours as well, Giselle. Good morning, Gak. How are you? Surprisingly happy for Fata Morgana. Yeah. I hope you're doing well. Oop, sorry guys, didn't mean to hit my mic. Sorry. We can eliminate the mansion's darkness. Then you won't have to be trapped as its maid. I have no interest in being the hero of the masses. Let's go ask Mel about Mel's sister then. Okay. I turn my gaze back towards the nun to find her kneeling in one of the pews. She bows her head and begins whispering a prayer. There's no one else in the chapel. Now's the perfect time to ask. Hearing me approach, she falls silent and turns to face me, wearing her usual disarming smile. Hello, Michelle. Mel was just here. He told me everything. Can't turn away a friend of Mel's, now can we? Sorry for turning you down earlier. No worries. I did a poor job of explaining myself. So, did you need something? Let me guess. Medicine? No, I'm in perfectly good health. I figured you were lying. I can't ask her about Zade's blood some other time. And while I have a number of questions about the man she's close to right now, Mel's sister is priority. Are you familiar with Mel's younger sister? She has flaxen hair, much like him. Oh, you mean Nellie? Are you her friend too? I would say we were more... better off just saying you're friends. Friends, yes. What about her? I would like to speak with her, and I was wondering if you might know where I could find her. Nellie should be down at the cottage, I believe. Cottage? Yep, that's where I stay too. I don't sleep in the mansion itself. So you don't live here, but only work here? Right. For one, there are men who live here. The Lord likes to show up on occasion too, and we can't have a nun wandering around while he's here. So you and Nellie live together then? Yep. We have for about 6 months or so? Ever since she and Mel showed up. Wait, is this Fata Morgana? Where's the trauma? Not here yet. We're about to get there, don't worry. Oh, whoa, wait a second. Okay, I was worried there for a second. Yeah. Yeah, don't worry. There we go. I wanted to let her stay with her brother, but since this is technically a church property, we have to keep the boys and girls separate. I see. I'm so glad to hear Nellie's got a friend, though. What? She's not from around here, so she doesn't have many acquaintances. And with how sick she can get, doesn't spend much time outside. Which is a shame, because she's such a sweet little girl. I'm her friend, of course, but I've got responsibilities. I can only be there so often. So I'm sure she'd be delighted to have someone else to talk to. It would be my pleasure. Could you, tell me the way to the cottage, then? Oh, sure! It's not that far from here. You go down. The directions I got from the nun led me to the place I know from my own time. It's the same building where the man who had been ordered to keep me under surveillance stayed. Sunlight seeps relentlessly through the trees, and I find myself having looked down at my feet as I follow the path. It's blindingly bright, painful. How are you holding up, Michelle? I'll be alright. The sun's past its peak. In a few hours, it won't be as nearly as bad. Don't push yourself, okay? Okay. The trek is just a reminder of how inconvenient my body always was. And having this chance to experience being alive again comes with both the good parts and the bad. Now is hardly the time to complain about my sensitivity to the sun. We must find Nellie. It's not long before we reach a clearing, a small cottage surrounded by a small garden coming into view. And crouching by a flower bed, picking flowers, is a flaxen-haired girl. Are you Nellie? Though several details of her appearance don't match my memory of her, she still has that distinct hair. It could be no one else. This Nellie is considerably thinner and looks rather frail. The effects of her being ill, I presume. Who are you? My name is Michelle. I have a few questions to ask you. Can we talk for a bit? I would have thought she'd said something by now. You're being way too blunt, Michelle. You've gone and scared her. What else was I supposed to say? You have to approach this slowly, carefully. Go on, give her a smile. A nice, soft smile. Smile? Ah, yes. The dictionary definition of a smile. Bravo, Michelle. Bravo. I'm only here to talk. There is nothing to be afraid of. Okay, that is definitely not a nice smile. I can't even see it and I can tell. What do you expect? I can't just smile on demand. I mean, yeah, you can. Have you never well, no, I was gonna say a very stupid question, but fair enough. Oh, the song is back. The song is back.
It's a bad man. A bad man has come to kidnap me. Save me, dearest Mel, before this bad man does bad things to me. Calm down, please. I'm not going to do anything to you. Eek, don't get any closer. I know you're trying to do bad things to me. I'm not going to do bad things to you. I couldn't, even if I wanted to. Thank you for the posture check, Tyler. Actually, one second. I need to take off my sweater. It's getting a little toasty. Hey. No, don't hit the mic, Maid. Don't hit the mic. We did it. We did it, everyone. Miracles have happened. Miracles have happened. Punch the ever-loving crap out of the... You know, sometimes I feel like I do that. Sometimes I feel like I do that. Not on purpose, but sometimes. Don't move or I'll call the guards on you. Please calm down. I mean you no harm, honestly. That's what all bad men say. Giselle. Giselle is so done with this shit. Giselle. Don't watch. This would be a fantastic time for a little advice. Got it. Maybe she'll calm down if you mention Mel? You're a genius. I am a friend of Mel's. What? He was telling me about you. And how you wanted someone to talk to. He asked me to keep you company. Mel asked you to come to talk to me? He did. Do you trust me now? So that makes you his friend, then. As much as it pains me to admit it. Michelle! What on earth possessed you to say that? Slip of the tongue. You and him? Is that so? Yes. You're pretty old to be friends with my Mel. Are you really, really, really his friend? Really? Then prove it. How so? If you're really his friend, you should be able to tell me all about him. What in God's name? Why in God's name would you subject me to that? Do you not like Mel, Michelle? That's not it. We're just incompatible. Okay, here we go. First question. What is my Mel like most of all? Naps, Nelly, or theater? Nelly.
Do you think so too? You think I'm his favorite thing in the whole wide world? I like to believe that's what he thinks. No, remember Michelle, or not Michelle, sorry. Mel, fell asleep in the theater before. He only went to the theater because of the white-haired girl. So it's not theater. Coffee need. Fair. I think it'd be wonderful if I could always be his #1. Her excessive love for her brother is still out in full force, I see. Second question. What kind of person is my Mel? He's a nice guy. He's a sycophant? Sycophant? Or he's a spineless chump. No, not Sweet Home Alabama. That's not an option. That is not an option. I believe it means you're just a toady. He's a nice guy. That's right. He's a very nice guy. He can have his head in the clouds sometimes, but other than that, he's perfect. You know your stuff. Wow, the Delulu is strong. Oh yeah, gotta be strong for Nelly. To be honest, I was just saying what you wanted to hear. Inside voice! Michelle, inside voice! You said that out loud. Me and my big mouth. Okay, final question. Describe what he looks like for me. I try not to scrutinize other men. He's decently handsome. I'm far better looking. What do we think? Who's better looking? Michelle or Mel? Just say decently handsome. I was gonna say, I try not to scrutinize other men. No? Is that a guy thing? Generally. So you'll scrutinize girls then? Do you want to stare at me? I suppose I might. Stop right there. What is wrong with you? I'll never look at you the same way again. It was a joke. I didn't actually mean it. You're full of surprises, aren't you, Michelle? It's not that unusual, is it? If there's a woman in the room, I'm certainly not going to ignore her. I'm right here, you know. Or are you trying to upset me? She's kind of cute when she's mad. Hello? Is anyone there? Sorry, my mind ran off without me. You're weird. Well, that was the last of my questions. You're not a complete stranger, it seems. Sure, why not? You can be my Mel's friend. Why, thank you. This is great. I was sure you were a bad man. Why is that your first impression of that everyone has of me is not that I'm someone decent? Any friend of Mel's must be a good person. No, an amazing person. That's quite the faith you have in him.
Why wouldn't I? He's my big brother.
That's some circular logic.
Is it just you? Is Mel not coming?
He's rather busy at the moment.
Oh. He always has something to take care of. That Mel. He's hardly given me any attention these past couple months. But that's okay. Because today, I've got you to keep me company.
Yes, you do. I can't stay long, though.
All right. Just stay until sundown, then. You had something you wanted to ask me, didn't you? Well, if you're a good enough friend, I'll tell you anything you want to know.
And how do I go about that?
Talking. Lots and lots of talking. You have to keep me entertained.
You're asking far too much of me.
She's not asking much at all.
She just wants to talk. You think someone who spent 13 years in isolation knows the first thing about holding a pleasant conversation?
Hey now, I was there for a year of that.
I'll help you come up with some topics, so go on.
Do you not want to talk to me then?
No, I do. I'm just not much of a conversationalist.
Okay then, instead of talking, you can sing. I've never seen a minstrel before, and I've always wanted to know what kinds of songs they sing. Will you show it me?
I've never seen one myself either. But I've heard secondhand accounts of the songs of traveling, I don't know how to say that word. Very well then. I'll teach you a song an old acquaintance of mine heard while traveling.
I can't wait.
Here goes. They're both so done with Michelle. And he's just like, what did I do? I just sang the song. The silence is deafening.
I'm shocked. I don't think I've ever heard someone sing so badly.
Me neither.
I'm flabbergasted.
Let's hear you try that.
That's enough singing for today. I don't want my ears to fall off.
What a vicious little girl.
I know. Let's bake something.
Bake something?
Yep, come on inside. I made some nice jam earlier today, and I want to make it into some pretty little pie. You get to help with that.
I'm not much of a...
Come on, get a move on. You either help, or you don't get to be my friend.
As you wish. This is not going to end well. Yeah, that's the trauma. Michelle's social skills. Little girl, that's not how friends work. True. True. So she doesn't know any better, to be fair. She doesn't know any better.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. on earth did you manage to turn a pie into this monstrosity? I gave it my best shot. There's only one explanation. You're possessed. It's true, he is, but I'm a perfectly good chef. Michelle's just naturally terrible at it. God, could this go any worse? I can't give this to Mel. Jerk. Dimwit. Loser. I'm sorry. Well, I guess we've got no choice but to eat it ourselves. I'll set the table. What? And I'll make some tea while I'm at it. You know, I've always dreamed of this. Sitting around a table with a friend, having snacks and just talking. Oh? Yep, and for that, I can deal with a little awful, disgusting pie. It's just too bad I couldn't share it with my Mel, too. I see. For all her complaining, she seems to be enjoying herself. I can only imagine how lonely she is out here. While she may act all bright and cheerful, beneath it is a real sense of isolation. And the same could be said about the girl behind the first door. As vivacious and pushy as she could be, you could see hints of loneliness behind it all. Her brother was practically all she had while she lived in the mansion. But if I were to guess, that's not the life she really wanted. I bet she would have preferred to be able to go out and play with friends. Being born into a noble family takes away a lot of your freedom. And even in such drastically different time periods, she's still the same girl inside. Actually, maybe the parallels extend beyond her as a person and into the courses of her two different lives. Perhaps that means all those who were reconstructed at Morgana's wishes are destined to lead similar lives. Though destined might be putting it too nicely. Nelly. I'd be glad to lend you my ear if you'd like. You can talk to me about the weather or your brother. Anything you want. You will? Great, have a seat. I've got lots I want to talk about. More than you can possibly imagine. And you'll never guess what Mel said next. That I mean more to him than anyone in the world. And so, I'm growing flowers in the garden, right? Well, when I've got enough of them, I'm going to make a big bouquet and give them to Mel. Back at home, we've got this really, really big yard with this huge tree we used to take naps under when it was nice out. So what did you think about the tea I made earlier? The flower petals. What really ties it all together. Oh, and you won't believe what happened after that. And Michelle's social battery is at 0. Care for another cup of tea? I'll make as much as you can drink. No, thank you, I'm fine. I feel like all I did was nod and listen. And the bulk of it was about Mel, no less. I haven't talked that much in ages. Time sure flew by, huh? The sun's starting to set.
Do you and the nun not speak much?
We do. But it's kind of, I don't know, not really the same with her. It just feels, I guess, like she's too important for me to waste her time being a lady in charge of the church and pretty much the whole estate.
And what about Mel? Does he not visit you very often?
No, he does. He comes to see me a lot.
Then why?
He hasn't been himself lately. My old Mel would have happily listened to whatever I had to say. But now, he seems kind of distracted. It sounds like he's really busy. When he visits, he doesn't stay for long, and he has to go back to the mansion at night. I'll try to get him to stay longer, but it never works. And he always avoids the question when I ask him why he can't. Feels like he's hiding something from me.
Knowing what he's hiding, I can understand why he wouldn't talk about it. He could never tell his precious little sister that he and 2 other men have a girl locked up in a tower, and that he's stealing her blood for her sake.
I wish things could have stayed the way they were before.
The way they were before?
When it was just the 2 of us living together. I know we're more stable here, and I can get medicine when I need from the church. But I'd rather stay being sick than being alone.
You said you came here around 6 months ago?
Yep. It was just the 2 of us before that. Well, before that. At our old house, we had a bunch of servants. But I never really liked it there either. With that many people around, I just felt more alone. I liked it so much better than it was just me and Mel.
Is that really what you want? Be sick and in constant pain?
It's better than being alone. Mel just doesn't get it. He doesn't understand that the loneliness is so much worse. Or maybe that's just a guy thing. Maybe they don't get what it's like to be ignored. What it feels like to be left in the dark. Not knowing anything.
We don't understand, no. We think saving their lives matters above all.
Huh?
Even if there's a cost to saving that life. We're incapable of gauging how great it is. We're unable to see how egotistical, how self-serving our actions are.
Are you talking about yourself?
The same could be said for Mel as well, I imagine.
Mel's still around, though. He's there. But it's like he's trying to avoid me. All I want is for him to be here. To be with me. That's all I really want. He doesn't even have to be perfect. Be a perfect fairy tale prince.
Have you ever told him that?
Huh? Have you ever told him that he doesn't have to be the perfect brother? That you'd be happy just having him there? Have you ever put those feelings into words? I'm always telling him I want him around. And that he doesn't have to be your prince to do so? He's already said he'll be my prince. And he always smiles whenever I talk about it. But how am I supposed to turn around and say he doesn't have to be my prince anymore? I know it's not your intention to force an ideal image onto him. But unconsciously, subconsciously, that's what you're doing when you talk like that. And Mel, he's trying to meet those expectations. Actually, he may not even be conscious of it himself. And he just believes deep down that that's the kind of person he's supposed to be. Or more accurately, he seems to have a need to make himself look good to others. He believes that if he's good to others, they'll be good to him in return. Am I a burden? I can assure you, he's better off with you around. But I am a burden to him right now, aren't I? Be honest with me. Ah, Michelle. Yes, you are. Because that's Giselle. Please, please, I know you can't physically, but please. Does Mel not like me anymore? Is that why he's been avoiding me? Promise you that's not the case. At very least, he's doing what he's doing now because of how much he cares about you. You promise? I promise. I love him. I love my Mel so very much. Too much, in fact. To be honest, I know I do. I understand that. Really. I know I'm making his life difficult. But Mel's all I have. He's the only person I can latch onto. I can't control my feelings. It can be difficult to tame your emotions at your age. There's nothing wrong with that. However, you should have taken stock of those emotions. Sorted through everything you've got going on in your mind, and then sat down with him to talk it out. Even if those things you feel may seem wrong or unspeakable, you should have opened up to him, taken the time to figure out what's best for the both of you. You two needed to face the things you carried in your heart,
the things your brother carried in his. By not doing so, you've ended up never quite on the same page. Small misunderstandings piling up until it all comes crashing down. If they had just talked it out, communicated their feelings to one another, maybe their tragedy could have been avoided, even though Morgana's curse in play. Thank you for coming out of your lurk, Umgak. I appreciate it. Michelle is just questionable at best. At the moment, anyway. If Nellie had only had a chance to come to grips with her feelings for Mel, then maybe things wouldn't have escalated the way they did. Her actions that night were arguably hysteric. But she wasn't always like that. I'm sorry. I was out of line. None of this is any of my business, I know. No need to apologize. You're a very curious man, you know that? Huh? We only met a couple hours ago, but you talk like you've known me my whole life. It's like you can hear everything I'm thinking, see everything in my heart. Did Mel tell you all of this? No. He didn't tell me much. I didn't think so. He doesn't know me that well. It's not too late, is it? If I talk to him, really tell him how I feel, do you think Mel will listen? I know he will. It won't make things worse? It won't make him uncomfortable? There's a chance that rifts may form at first. But those cracks can be filled again. And I can promise you, the result will be something much better than if you had held it all in. It will all work out. Okay. Next time I see Mel, I will tell him. I'll tell him he doesn't have to try to be my prince. Good. You really are a curious man. You're the first person to ever talk to me like I'm a real person. Everyone loves to say how sweet and adorable I am. But that's it. I was only ever their make-believe princess. You are a real person, I can assure you. No worries, Sylvie. Get some good sleep. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks. You know, after talking to you, I'm feeling a whole lot better. Like I can do anything. I'm glad you came by today. And I'm glad I could meet you in person. It's weird. It really feels like we've known each other our entire lives. I've known you for some time. Or perhaps I should say, what you will become. Huh? Oh, no, ignore me. Were you? Was that supposed to be a pickup line? Bad, Michelle. I'm still too young for that. No, I wasn't. And now you're getting flustered. I swear that's not what that was. I know. Jeez, do you really think I trust you that little? Sorry. Oh, I have just the most wonderful idea. Hmm? Oh. Yep. Instead of being my friend, I'll let you be something even better. You want to guess what better is, folks? You want to guess? Mm-hmm. You're my second brother. So yes, boyfriend wasn't far off. No. Oh, you went wholesome. I'm like, oh, she loves her brothers, huh? She loves her brothers. She loves her brothers. As she's talking about like having feelings for her brother. That's why. No, I don't. Fine, fine. I'm the only one who remembers the first door, it seems. Hmm? Hmm? Second brother? A brother is much, much more special to me than a friend. So obviously you can't be my number one. I'm blanking. She's taking a liking to you. This is good for us. I'm not sure how I feel about her putting so much trust in me so quickly, though. The amount of time it takes isn't important. What matters is that you listen to her, you understand her, and you treat her like a real person. In her eyes, you're someone she can depend on. Do you not want me as your sister? Actually, I was the youngest child, so having a younger sibling would be... Would be what? Come on, spit it out. Would be rather nice. You bet it would. Who wouldn't want an adorable little sister like me? That's a bit narcissistic, wouldn't you say? Well, it's true, isn't it? Go on, tell me I'm adorable, dearest Michelle. Oh no, we got the dearest title. We've got the dearest title, everyone. Oh no. What? Well, don't just stare at me. If my Mel was here, he wouldn't bat an eye. Please don't compare me to him. You know, now might be a good time to tell her about Morgana. Part of me feels like I would be taking advantage of her, really earn trust. But it certainly would be easier to bring up now while she holds me in high regard. She's much more likely to believe me. You're right. I agree, now is probably the best chance we'll get. Especially considering how little time we have. I can't shake the feeling I'm rushing things. But at this point, all I can do is go with it and pray it works. If we had the time, I think I'd like to hold off. Nellie looks like she's having so much fun. And even you seem to be enjoying yourself. No, I'm just... It's not something to be ashamed of. I'm having fun watching you myself. Let's do it. Let's tell her about Morgana. We have to do it at some point anyway. Yes, let's. Nellie, do you mind if I ask you a question? What is it, dearest Michelle? I'm gonna have to, this is gonna mess me up a few times. So if I say dearest Mel, I'm so sorry. Ask me anything you want. Have you heard of something called saint's blood? You mean the medicine? Yes, except it's not actually... I know, yeah. It's actually the saintess's blood, not medicine. But no telling. What? One day before we moved here, one day before we moved here, it was just me and Mel, the saintess came to visit. My mind had been all foggy for a long time, like I wasn't quite asleep, but not quite awake either. But when I heard her soft, pleasant voice, the fog cleared up a bit. And then she performed a miracle for me. Blood is awful and gross and terrible, but the saintess's, hers is different. Hers is pure. So you're saying you know everything, Nellie? About the observation tower and... Huh? The tower? What about it? That's where they keep her. What? No, the saintess is always in the chapel. And she stays here with me. She comes back at nights. In fact, she should be here any minute now. So, she thinks the saintess is the nun and not Morgana. No, Nellie, that blood comes from... I'm really, really grateful to her. She didn't just perform one miracle. She's been taking care of me while I'm here, too. So whenever I see her, I always say thank you. I thank her for sharing her blood with me. And she always says, it's nothing, with a big smile. No, Nellie. The nun has no idea. She just assumed Nellie's thanking her for giving her the medicine. I owe the saintess my life. No, Nellie. She's not the one you should be grateful to. Huh? The girl you owe your life to has been locked up, suffering alone even as we speak. But the saintess is at the church. The girl who came to visit you is not the nun everyone calls the saintess. Her name is Morgana. Huh? What are you talking about, Michelle? The saintess is locked up? Stop that. I have no idea what you're talking about. Everything I'm telling you is the truth. Please believe me. While you were lying in bed, sick and barely conscious, did you get a good look at the saintess who gave you her blood? You didn't, did you? You couldn't make out any details because your mind was in a haze. But then, when you arrived at this estate, you met a woman who people called the saintess, giving out medication known as saint's blood. So you assumed she was who had cured you. That's the story you chose to believe. If what you're saying is true, and where is the other saintess? One who came to see me? At the top of the mansion's observation tower. The door to the tower is locked. She's imprisoned there. And how do you know this? Because it'd be wise to tell her. Wouldn't be wise to tell her from the future just yet. That would only serve to confuse her further. All I need to do is convince her of this right now is that Morgana is being held in the tower. There's an idea. Perhaps I can borrow from the story of the white-haired girl who... Perhaps I can borrow from the story the white-haired girl told Mel. I received a letter. A letter? There's a single window, far out of reach in the chamber at the top of the tower. A dove flew in through the window, so she wrote a letter, tying it to the bird's leg and releasing it in hopes someone would come to set her free. That letter ended up in my hands. If that's the case, then who locked her up? Was it the Saintess? The one I know? No, I don't believe the nun is aware. I think she's simply doing her job in good faith. Then who? Michelle. I know very well that what I'm about to say will likely crush her. But I can't let that stop me. Who would do such a terrible thing? Nellie, I want you to brace yourself for what I'm about to say. There are 3 men participating in Morgana's imprisonment. One of those 3 is your brother Mel. I understand that that's the last thing you wanted to hear, but please believe me, I would not say something so upsetting lightly. I wish to save Morgana, the true saint. And I would like your assistance. Without your help, I can't get her out of that tower. I need you to get through to Mel. Otherwise, both he and Morgana will remain entrapped. That's not true. Nellie. You're lying. You have to be. My Mel would never do something so horrible. You're a terrible liar. It's true. I swear to you. You think I'm going to believe that? My Mel? My Mel's an amazing, wonderful person. He's not cruel and evil. He's good and kind, like a prince. And a prince would never lock someone up. I know you're not blind, Nellie. You can say that your prince talk has... You can see that your prince talk has been putting pressure on him. So? You think that's going to change my mind? He has no reason to do any of that. But he does, Nellie. He's certainly not happy about it, no. But he's doing it for you. What do you mean? He needs her blood to keep you healthy. So, to ensure he always has a supply. But no,
And despite that, Saint's blood probably doesn't even have healing properties. No benefits from doing this. Not you, not Mel, and certainly not Morgana. And I don't think anyone can stop him except you. Mel won't listen to me. Did you not just say you would talk things through with him? Just shut it. Stop talking already. I'm done listening to you. Nelly, I'll never believe you. You're not my brother anymore. You're just a horrible, horrible man. Who do you think you are to just march in here and try to make my Mel into the bad guy? And after I made you my second brother. What's wrong with you? I trusted you. I ate nasty pie and had tea with you. And you're just a mean, evil man here to turn me against my Mel. I know you don't want to believe me, but I'm telling you the truth. Every word. I beg you to open your eyes. Ask him yourself. If you don't believe me, then ask Mel about Morgana. Thank you for stopping by, Umgak. Have a good sleep. I guarantee you, he'll panic. Enough! Enough already! Get out of here! Get out this instant! Nelly. Don't say my name. Just go away. Get out of here. Now, I don't want to see you ever again. I should have chased you off the moment I saw you. Get out, now! I pray you can find it in yourself to open your eyes and face the truth. Get out! One last thing before I go, Nelly. We don't get to hear the last thing. Because, of course not. We gotta leave us on a cliffhanger. Ah. It was my only option. I know that. But I feel like all I accomplished by telling her was bringing her more pain. It's a difficult balance. We just have to pray you were able to get through to her. I'm sure she'll come around. If only we had a little more time. In 3 days, it'll all be over. Morgana and the entire web of people connected to her will die. That's not enough time. Let's return to the mansion and look for Mel. I'd like to speak with him. If there's a chance we can even get the smallest bit of Nelly's feelings through to him, maybe he'll have a change of heart. Hopefully. It's hardly going to be elegant, but it's what must be done. Ah, did you just get back? Saint Tess was telling me you went to see Nelly. What do you think? Sweet girl, isn't she? That she is. Though she can be a bit of a handful at times. I'm glad you could keep her company for a bit. Now, just to be sure, you kept a lid on all your crazy talk, right? She treated me to some tea, nothing more. Ah, the stuff with the flower petals in it, yeah? She thinks it's some kind of charm to make it taste better. Girls seem to have a thing for stuff like that. Shush.
Shush, just because the flower petals make it pretty doesn't mean you can just call us out like that. Mel? Could you spare me a bit of your time for me? We need to talk. Oh, sure. Can I wait a bit though? I have to run a little errand after supper. When I'm done with that, I'll meet you in your room. All right. You think that errand is bringing Morgana her meal, presumably? We might be able to catch the three of them opening the door if we trail Mel. It's too big of a risk. Mel's already wary as it is. I concur. Thank you for the hydrate, Nyasity. I really appreciate it. And we don't know how much the other two might react. It's best to play it safe. No one is going to come to our defense if we're caught. Not at this point in time. So we'd be better off waiting in our room. Agreed. The winter has receded and spring is well upon the land. There's still a sharp chill in the night air. Even with the window shut, the wind still manages to slip through the cracks, making the candle flame waver. Neither Giselle nor I say much of anything, but nevertheless, when she does speak, the sound of her voice, soft and pleasant, relaxes my nerves. The faint sound of her breathing reminds me I'm not alone, that she's there, watching over me. And when the candle is about half gone, the door swings open. Sorry it took so long. What did you want to talk about? You didn't bring anyone with you. No, I didn't. Who do you think I would bring? No one. Was just checking. No. I'll get straight to the point. You're afflicted with a great deal of remorse. Are you not, Mel? Pardon? I know what you're doing. What you're involved in. I know the girl at the top of the tower, observation tower very well. Her name is Morgana, and you have her imprisoned in the tower. The tower requires 3 keys to open, of which you possess 1. You need her for her miracle blood. Oh. I came here to stop you. How do you know any of that? It's not possible. She could have told anyone. Did one of them tell you? No, it wasn't them. I was told all this by Morgana herself. How could she? What I'm about to tell you is going to seem impossible, but every word of it is the truth. I'm not from this time. Many, many years after her death, Morgana's soul told me what happened to her. What? What are you even talking about? She's still alive? You're not from this time? What? Are you mad? Can you come up with any other explanation as to how I know everything I know? There's a single window in the room at the top of the tower. A small, insignificant thing that sits high upon the wall. It's entirely useless for communicating with the outside world. In 3 days' time, during the Harvest Festival, Morgana will die.
And I must prevent that from happening. Prevent it? To do that, I need your key. Will you give it to me? There you go, talking nonsense again. You know, I warned you not to kick up any dust for your own sake. But I guess that didn't get through to you, huh? I don't care who you are or where you come from. All that matters is that you intend to stand in our way. What, did you think I was a helpless little boy? That you could take my key without any trouble? Well, you'd be right about that. If it was only me, stealing my key and setting her free would be a trivial matter. But it's not only me. And the other two, they won't hesitate to kill you. Your life, anyone's life, means nothing to them. You don't know what they're like, how terrifying they can be. They're killers. I'll tell them everything you told me. I'll tell them you know our secret. And don't come crying to me when they come for you. I warned you. Is that what you want? Yeah. Will you find comfort? Find the comfort you seek by being their devoted little slave and keeping Morgana imprisoned in that tower? What else can I... If you feel at all ashamed about your part in this, if you want to do something to correct it, then you need to take that step. You can't fix this problem on your own, no. But I'm here to help. I'm not ashamed about anything. Don't lie to yourself. Don't act like you know how I feel. What the hell is your deal, anyway? You just show up out of nowhere, spouting this, I'll save you and I'm here to help rubbish. You need to do this for your sister. See? Now that's ridiculous. If I wash my hands of this, I won't have access to the witch's blood anymore. And without that, Nellie won't get better. She'll die without the blood. All right. Take care, Samurai. Her blood has no miraculous healing powers. You only believe it does, making it appear to work. You're mad. Morgana's blood is not curing Nellie. In fact, it may very well be killing her. If you keep giving her that blood, Nellie will also lose her life during the Harvest Festival. What? You're standing on the precipice of a horrific tragedy, and you're going to take everyone down with you if you don't turn back now. What are you? All three of you are going to lose everything on the day of the festival. And there's only one way to prevent that. You have to set Morgana free. You're insane if you think I would believe that. Nellie's going to die? Could you have told a more mean-spirited lie? You're the one trying to kill her. I'm just trying to save her. And you're going about it the entirely wrong way. Do you have any idea how lonely your sister is right now? You should be at her side. That's what you should be doing instead of stealing a poor girl's blood. I've heard enough.
What do you know? If I lose Nellie, I'll have no one. My whole world will collapse. This is the only thing I can keep. This is the only way I can keep that from happening. This is my best option. My only option. So no, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep Morgana locked up, and I'm going to keep stealing her blood. And I'll hand you over to the other two. I'll have them kill you. You'll regret ever showing your face. Mel? Is that really true? What? Do you really have the Saintess locked up? Why? What are you doing here, Nellie? That man told me that I had to talk to you. He said if I didn't have the courage to do it myself, to wait outside his room tonight, because he was going to get the truth from you. And that is what he told her to do, ladies and gents. Good thinking, Michelle. You conniving son of a... You were planning this all along. What? Why would you tell Nellie? Why would you bring her, of all people, into this? Mel. Tell me, Mel. Is it true? Nellie, Are you really keeping the Saintess prisoner and stealing her blood? Ugh. And you said you would have him killed. I never thought you were such a terrible person, Mel. I can't believe you would do such despicable things. No, you're not my brother anymore. Nellie! Michelle, go after her. Yes, we have to go after Nellie. We have to go after Nellie. We have to stop her. Bring her back. Nellie! Don't follow me. Just go away. Leave me alone. Stop. If you run away from him now, Mel will never come back from this. Then, why did you tell me? Why did you tell me what he was doing? If you hadn't said anything, everything would be fine. We wouldn't be in this horrible mess. You hadn't said anything. I could have kept believing in him. No, things wouldn't be fine. Can you not see that? You shouldn't put your faith in your ideal brother, but your real one. The boy in that room stricken with regret. If I hadn't have said anything, the facade would have ruined you both sooner or later. In truth, your relationship was already broken. You simply ignored the spreading cracks. I know, on some level,
You had realized that Mel was keeping something incredibly important from you. I thought that secret was tearing you apart. There's nothing good about this, though. Now we'll never go back to the way we were. We can never go back to what it was like when we were kids. Just the two of us, playing together every day, having fun. Everyone's childhood comes to an end. The flow of time is impartial. You cannot fight it. What you can do, what only you can do, is choose how you choose to change it. But I will admit, I am the one who opened your wounds, and now I'm putting the responsibility of tending them onto you. It's cruel, I know. But if you don't come to terms with Mel and make him withdraw his participation, even greater suffering awaits you far in the future. It's not over yet, and you can't let this be where it ends. The bonds you formed over the years are not yet broken. You can do what I was never able to. You can still repair your relationship. But I'm scared. Scared what my brother, that my Mel could do such horrible things. That he could say he would kill you. He used to be such a good brother. He was always so kind, so friendly to everyone. But it was all a lie. It was all a big act to fool me. No, it's not an act at all. There was truth to it. He is a kind-hearted boy, an ordinary young man, whose kindness was twisted by circumstance. And it doesn't matter how good a person is sometimes. Everyone has the potential to do terrible things when backed into a corner. You think you know everything. I know that much. Nellie, if you want your brother back, you have to act now. Please, you must take action. But I'm scared. What am I supposed to say to him? I don't know. I'll be there with you. You don't have to face this alone. There's more to this story than what we've heard. We don't know how he got himself involved in this. I mean to get the rest out of him. You need to be there to hear it. If, when I hear what he has to say, I try to say something I shouldn't. If I try to say something that will ruin everything, will you stop me? You're the person who told me to open my eyes and face him. You're the one who made this whole mess. What am I supposed to do if all of this destroys everything I have? You said you'd be my brother, right? So be a good brother and help me out here. Promise me. You'll make sure nothing goes bad. You'll do that, won't you? Michelle, just say yes. You won't let this go bad. Have faith in yourself. Faith that you put their relationship on the tracks to recovery. Promise her. Give her the courage she wants from you. You have nothing to fear. I will be there for you. I will help you both. Okay. I'll do it. I'll go back. Thank you, Giselle. Oh, don't mention it. Now, let's go see what he has to say for himself. Let's draw back the curtain.
Yes, let's.
Nelly? Mel?
What did you come back for? To ridicule me? I'm not the brother you thought I was, huh? Not at all what you wanted me to be. It's all over. Everything Michelle said is true. There's a girl imprisoned in the tower. A completely innocent girl. A girl who saved your life, in fact. Go on, tell me how cruel and terrible and evil I am. I'm no prince. Here's an idea. Why don't you make him your new prince?
You can do it, Nelly. Ask him. You have your reasons, don't you? You have some reason for being part of this, right?
A reason? Yeah, I have a reason, all right. I wanted to save your life. I needed her blood to cure you, so I had to lock her up.
Tell me the truth. I don't remember much about when the Saintess came to visit, but I do remember a little. I remember her saying she would gladly give whatever she could to the sick and needy. Which means you had no need to lock her up.
It would seem the tale Morgana showed me was true. She really was a saint.
Yes, she was. Tell me the truth, Mel. Tell me everything.
There's nothing to tell.
There is. I know it. There's more to a story than just the facts. There's the things you thought, the things you felt, all the pieces that combine to make a whole story. Isn't that right, Michelle?
You're exactly right. Ugh, you hadn't have said anything. We could have gone on with our lives as normal.
No, Mel, we couldn't have. I thought so too at first, but it's not true. Our normal lives ended long ago. Tell me the truth, Mel. No matter what it is, I can handle it.
No, Nelly, you can't. A girl like you, who dreams of becoming a princess, couldn't possibly bear to see how hideous her brother has become.
How can I know? You don't say anything, though. That's how it's always been between us. You were nice to me, and that's all I needed. I never looked beyond the surface. I made you into my ideal brother, and latched on to that image of you. You're a kind person, Mel. You really are. So kind you played along with my fantasies like you were a prince. But you don't have to act for me anymore. I want to know the real you. I'm all done being a princess. I'm just your little sister now. Nothing more. Your one and only little sister, Mel. You need to do this, Mel. You need to tell your story. Until you do, we have no way of understanding what you've been through. What you're going through. No way. If I tell you, you'll lose any hope you had left in me. As Nellie said, you need to release yourself from your own idealized fantasy, Mel. You have someone right here who will accept you for who you are. I know good and well just how hard it can be to have someone dear to you see a side of you that you didn't want them to show them. And I think you can get that off your chest, though. I think you want forgiveness. Fantasies are not everlasting. They all crumble eventually. Show us the real Mel. Tell us your story, without embellishments or omissions. Mel. Okay. I'll tell you. Not like I have any other options. Nellie, if at any point you cannot bear to hear any more, so be it. You're free to leave whenever you like. I won't go anywhere. I can almost guarantee you. I pray that ends up being true. Alright, here goes. And I'm going to be mean. Ah, Mel. Ah, Mel. Yes, we're getting to our 4-hour mark. So thus it means it is time for me to go. Yes. Also, thank you everyone for your for the bits or not the bits, the channel donations today. I really appreciate it. I also want to thank, I remember I saw it yesterday. I was just checking things. Thank you for the bits. Not what I meant, but someone gifted the community some subs. An anonymous gifter donated the community some subs, so thank you whoever that was. If you're here, I don't know if you are, but if you are here, hello. Thank you for that. I really, really appreciate it. And yeah. So tomorrow, what are we doing tomorrow? I literally made the schedule last night and I've totally forgotten everything. That's just how my brain works. Slime Rancher. Perfect. Slimes. Yes, so we'll be doing some fun times with some Slime Ranchers. Some Slime Rancher time. But yeah, I think that's everything. But yes, I hope you all enjoyed today. We're getting into this final door. We're doing it. We're getting through the final door. It is a long one, because essentially we have to go through everyone's perspectives again. But it's fine. So, I hope you are excited to see where this story goes. And yeah, we are almost done, guys. We're almost done. Second game to be finished on the channel. But yeah, I will see you all tomorrow for some more chill. And then the DLC and the after story. But yes, we will see you all tomorrow. And thank you to everyone for your support. I really, really appreciate it. Alrighty. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.